You know that feeling, right? A payment's due, but it's a holiday or a weekend, and you're just sitting there hitting refresh on your bank app wondering, where is my money? It's a super common frustration, and today we're going to solve that little puzzle. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's your paycheck or a payment from a client. When that due date hits a day off, it can be, well, annoying. But here's the thing, it's not random at all. There's actually a whole hidden system at play, a system that decides exactly when you get paid. And that's what we're calling the payday puzzle. Why doesn't your money always show up on the dot? Well, believe it or not, there's a whole set of official rules designed to stop this exact kind of confusion and, keep everyone on the same page. The answer has a pretty formal sounding name, Business Day Conventions. I know, it sounds a little stuffy, but honestly, it's just a simple rulebook. It's the what to do guide for when a payment date lands on a day the banks are closed. So let's break it down. Okay, so these are the rules for financial clarity. To really get a grip on this official rulebook, we have to start with the absolute basics. We need to define a super important term. What exactly is a business day? It's a really simple definition, but it's powerful. A business day is just a normal day for business operations. The most important part, though, is what a business day isn't. It officially excludes weekends and public holidays. And that one simple idea? It's the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about. So you might be thinking, why do we even need all these rules? Well, because without them, things would get messy and fast. These conventions standardize everything. They make sure a transaction in, say, New York is handled the same way as one in California. The whole point is to create a financial system that's smooth and consistent for everyone. It's to prevent any discombobulation around when money is supposed to show up. All right, first up is the next day rule. We know why we need these conventions, so now let's dig into the rules themselves. There are three main ones, and we're going to start with probably the most common one you'll run into, the following business day convention. This one is so simple, it's great. The name really says it all. If your payment is due on a non-business day, like a Saturday, the payment just follows to the very next day that is a business day. It just gets pushed forward in time. Let's look at a super simple example. Say a payment is due on a Saturday. Since Saturday is not a business day, the following rule kicks in and bumps that payment to the next available one. And remember, Sunday's not a business day either. So, boom, it lands on Monday. Easy, right? Okay, so that's pushing it forward. But what if you wanted to do the exact opposite? What if you wanted to pull a payment backward instead? Well, that brings us right to our second rule, the preceding business day convention. This one just completely flips the script. Instead of following the weekend or holiday, the payment precedes it. It comes before. So the payment date gets moved up to the last business day right before that day off. Let's use that same Saturday due date to see the difference. With the preceding rule, you're not waiting until Monday. Instead, the transaction happens on the previous business day. So you get your money on Friday. Hey, in this case, you actually get paid a little early. Not bad. All right, so we've got next day and day before. That seems like it should cover everything, right? Well, not quite. There's this one tricky situation, usually around the end of the month, that needs a smarter, more flexible rule. And this is where we get our third and honestly most interesting convention, the modified following convention. Okay, so listen closely on this one. It starts out acting exactly like the following rule we just talked about. It tries to push the payment to the next business day. But, and this is a huge but, it has one giant exception, that little word, unless. Unless pushing it forward would push the payment into the next calendar month. That one little detail changes everything. Think of it like a simple flowchart. The system asks itself one question. Does the next business day fall in the same month? If the answer is yes, great. It just follows like normal. But if the answer is no, it flips the script and proceeds, jumping back to the previous business day. It's a clever little trick to keep all the monthly accounting neat and tidy. Here's a perfect real-world example that makes this crystal clear. Let's say your salary is technically due on December 25th, which is a holiday. Now, with all the other year-end holidays, the very next business day might not be until early January. Well, to make sure you get your December salary in December, this rule kicks in. The system sees that the next day is in a new month, so it reverses course and pays you on the business day before the holiday on December 24th. Okay, let's pull this all together with a quick cheat sheet. Check out the example here. A payment is due on Saturday, December 31st. The following rule would push you all the way into the new year, to January 2nd. But notice how both the preceding rule and the modified following rule keep the payment in the same year, paying you on Friday, December 30th. See how that works? So let's circle all the way back to our payday puzzle from the beginning. What feels like a random delay or just bad luck is actually a super organized system working behind the scenes. These conventions are like the invisible architecture that keeps our whole financial system running smoothly and, most importantly, predictably. The entire point of all these rules is to get rid of the confusion, to take it out of the equation, so that everyone, whether you're an individual or a giant corporation, knows exactly what to expect and when. Okay, so now you get it. You understand the three main rules that decide when your money actually moves.